Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 2, Episode 7 of the Trivia 10. Today, we have the second half of the Raiders of the Lost podcast, James, on the episode of Trivia today. We saw his brother, first episode of the season, locked in a score of 65. And there's got to be a rivalry between you two. I know whoever's going to get the higher score is going to be bragging rights. How are you doing today, James? I know you've been super busy with movie production, podcast production, all that good stuff.
I'm doing great. I've had a great year. It's been exciting. It's been very busy, but just a lot of stuff in the works. And I just got to say, man, Tyler, you've been doing such a great job with this trivia series. I watched a couple of them. You are killing it, man. Like, the questions are incredible. And I'm scared, but also excited about this episode.
Well, I appreciate that. But yeah, everyone comes in here a little nervous, but they end up doing great. So we'll see how you do. Not to put any more pressure on you, but of course, every Tuesday and Friday, we're releasing new episodes of this. So make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. Looking at the leaderboard right now, 16 out of the 20 people from the season are going to be locked into the playoffs. So we can see Harry and Josiah already locked in as they have 4 people under them. You see Anthony there in 5th right now on the bubble. He's got to get a couple people to go under him in order to make the playoffs. Maybe you could push him further down there. But we'll have to see where you end up. Yeah, we'll see how you end up doing today. So, James, let's get into this. We're going to start with 2 multiple choice questions to start off. The first one, and there will be blood. Daniel Plainview takes care of a young boy, HW. What happened to the real father of the boy? Was he murdered, killed in an oil digging accident, died of influenza, or ran away and abandoned his son?
That is B, killed in an oil digging accident.
You are absolutely correct. 1 for 1, 5 points. Just like that. Nice and easy. You're already on the winning side of history. We got another multiple choice question loaded up here. In Lawrence of Arabia, what is Lawrence doing the first time we see him? Is he lighting a cigarette, painting a map, riding a motorbike, or sleeping?
C, riding a motorbike.
No hesitation on these. 10 points just like that. You're There Will Be Blood in Lawrence of Arabia.
I try.
Going on to question 3 now. No longer in the multiple choice land here. In Alien, what is the name of the cruise ship?
The Nostromo.
You're absolutely correct. Perfect through 3 questions, 20 points. You're going to, at this pace, you're going to be flying by your brother, but
don't jinx me, man. Don't jinx me.
Off the rails quickly. We're going to try and ramp up in difficulty a little bit as we go, but we'll see. Question number 4. In Tenet, what is the name of the time-bending tactical technique used for missions?
Temporal pincer.
You took your time, you thought about it, locked it in, 10 points. You are still perfect through this quiz. The temporal pincer movement is absolutely correct for Tenet, a movie that ever since seeing it in the re-release on IMAX, I can't stop thinking about it. That movie, I love
Tenet. I think it's so overhated. It really is.
Agreed. Who runs your Letterboxd between your podcasts?
Anthony runs the Raiders, so that's basically his Letterboxd, basically. But then I have my own personal. It's just James Potter _.
Gotcha. Yeah, I never knew for like the actual Raiders one who's doing the Letterboxd. Was it both?
You can tell it's Anthony because it's just a bunch of foreign films every week.
Well, he gave Tenet a 5 stars, so at least I know he gives it a high praise.
Wow. So yeah, I wouldn't say 5. I like 4.5 for me.
Yeah, but you like it though. You like it a lot.
I really like it. Yeah.
All right. Well, you're perfect still. We're going into question number 5 now. In Parasite, what is housekeeper Moon Gwang severely allergic to?
Peaches.
Calm, cool, and collected. You are perfect through the first half of the quiz, already at 40 points. Now we're going to get into where it's a little different than just standard trivia questions. First up, we have a matching game, box office edition. So I'm going to show you 3 movies right here, all Tarantino films, and you can see the production budget and box office. You have, some producer creds in your bag, so maybe this will be a little more top of mind for you potentially if you keep a little more keen interest in this kind of stuff. But production budget $70 million, made $321 million. 100 million budget made 426 million, and a budget of 50 million that made 161 million. Which one is which for Django Unchained, The Hateful Eight, and Inglourious Bastards?
All right, I'm gonna
walk me through what you're thinking.
I'm gonna say Inglourious Bastards is number 1, Django is number 2, and then Hateful Eight is number 3.
Perfectly done. All 3 of them right on the money. I think in terms of this question, if I was attacking it, I think The Hateful Eight might be the one that sticks out as kind of the one you can easily get. The probably lower production didn't make as much, but between Django and Inglourious Bastards, it'd probably be a coin flip between those two. But
yeah, that was the one because the production budget 50 mil. It's one location mostly, so that one's kind of sticks out as easy one.
Mm-hmm. And he normally has such crazy ensemble cast, which the cast is great in The Hateful Eight, but not quite as overall top to bottom as big of names as other two.
Yeah.
So probably costs a little less there as well.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure most actors just take a decent cut to work with Tarantino anyways.
Yeah, I think Django's still his biggest box office, I think.
Which is crazy because you'd think, I mean, they're such beloved movies, but I mean, they all make good at the box office. Hateful Eight, not that much, but
Yeah.
you know, not as much as you would think for like, you know, a Nolan or something. But going
Yeah,
on to the
exactly.
next matching game here, it's Rotten Tomatoes edition. So we have Forrest Gump, 12 Years a Slave, and David Lynch's Eraserhead. And you see a 95 critics, 90 audience, 89 critics, 82 audience, and a 76 critics, 95 audience. Can you match those up?
So 12 Years a Slave is number 1. And then I'm going to go Eraserhead for number 2, and then Forrest Gump for number 3.
You are still undefeated on this quiz. You are ripping through this thing. Very well done. I think 12 Years a Slave, I guess, since, you know, Best Picture winner makes sense with the critics, but I thought that one could be one that trips people up, that Eraserhead might not. I mean, David Lynch can be hit or miss sometimes. So I thought maybe you'd think that might be the lower critic one, but no, it's Forrest Gump.
I feel like for that one, like, it's, that was actually, that was a tough one. I figured it out though. I figured it out based off kind of the critic versus audience score, just what I thought it would be. Yeah. Cause I know audiences love Forrest Gump, but I know critics weren't too keen on it.
Exactly. And at this point, you're at 70 points. We have 3 questions left. You're already above your brothers. So bragging rights are already in the bag, locked in. We're going to see just how high you can climb up this leaderboard. Question number 8 is going to have 2 possible answers, or there's 2 correct answers to the question. So you're going to get 10 points for each one you get right. 0, obviously, you get none, or 20 if you can get both. And the question is, in what country is the first scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and what country is the final scene in? Of course, Raiders of the Lost Podcast, your podcast, had to throw a Raiders of the Lost Ark question on here. Which country does the first scene take place in, and what scene does the final?
Oh my God, that is a tough question. I'm gonna Peru and what is the final scene? Morocco.
Well, you got one right. Peru is correct. It begins in Peru and it ends in the USA. He's back in the White House, back at the But your first stumble, you're still at 80 points. But Peru is a great pull. I mean, I think the only mention of Peru that you see is just in the text at the bottom of the screen kind of says like in Peru right now.
Yeah.
But other than that, like the scenes itself don't really give a dead giveaway of, you know, it's this South American country as opposed to another one.
Yeah,
but
I just psyched myself out. I was like, what's the other location with the Ark? And I'm like, it's just in Washington.
Yep, Washington is where it ends. But we're going on to question number 9 now, which is Ride the Bus. So I'm going to give you a Letterboxd score, average Letterboxd score of a movie, which is The Last Duel at a 3.7. You're going to have to tell me if this next film is rated higher or lower on average. If you get it right, we're going to keep on going. You'll get 5 points for when you get right. But once you get one wrong, the question ends there. So we'll see how far you can make it if you can get past even the first one. So 3.7 for The Last Duel. Is Hard 8 rated higher or lower on average than 3.7?
Man, that's tough. I feel like most people haven't even seen this movie. I'm going to say higher.
It's actually lower. No points. As we've seen in this season, which I know when we're recording this, most episodes haven't come out since I'm recording these well in advance. This question 9 is the stumper of this season. We have had so many people get off on the first one just because it's surprising what ends up being higher and lower.
Letterboxd is just so inconsistent. Letterboxd, like you can think it's like The Last Duel, I think is too low for a 3.7 anyways, but it's just like, you never know. It's kind of hit or miss.
It's tough, but yeah, so 0 points on this one, but the next one would have been Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox Story, which is above, Inherent Vice, which is below, and Southpaw, which is also below. So there's no points though. You're still at 80 going into the final question to see how far up the leaderboard you can get. And this is the guess the cast question. One by one, I'm going to reveal cast members of a movie. I'm going to reveal one cast member and you can guess and you get 40 points if you get it right. If you get it wrong, we're just going to reveal the next cast member for 30 points. We're going to keep on going until we get 4 total revealed. So the first cast member we're going to be revealing, Scarlett Johansson. So if you can guess any Scarlett Johansson movie and get the right one that I'm thinking of, 40 points. If not, we'll just reveal the next cast member.
And I don't lose points if I get it wrong?
You don't lose any points. Nope. You just won't get 40. You'll get an opportunity to get 30 when we reveal one more.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit is incorrect. The next cast member we're going to be revealing, Chris Pratt.
It's going to be Avengers Infinity War.
Not Infinity War. Next cast member, Amy Adams.
Whoa. Hold on.
Take your time. Take as much time as you need to think.
ScarJo, Chris Pratt, Amy Adams. Damn, that's a good question. ScarJo, Chris Pratt, Amy Adams in a movie together. I can't. I need another one. I don't know.
The next cast member, Joaquin Phoenix.
I feel like I'm gonna punch myself when I find out what this is. ScarJo, Joaquin Phoenix in a movie together with Chris Pratt and Amy Adams. What the hell is this? Oh my God, this is tough. This is really tough. Oh my God. I don't fucking know. I don't know.
No guesses?
I'm just blanking so hard on this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's maybe it's no, it's not an animated movie. Is it an animated movie? It's got to be an animated movie. How to Train Your Jungle Book.
It is not. The correct answer is Her.
Oh my God.
Her is the correct answer.
Oh my, I fucking love Her.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good one to trip people up because you never see.
You don't see ScarJo, yeah, and then Chris Pratt's in like 2 scenes. Oh man, dude, that's
and Joaquin Phoenix too. I just watched this with my fiance the other day, and she obviously knows Joaquin Phoenix, but hadn't seen this movie, and she didn't even know until halfway. And I was like, "Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix." She's like, "Wait, that's Joaquin Phoenix?" So, not the first face you think of there, but no points there. You started off perfect throughout the beginning of the quiz, and stumbled in the last couple. But still, you're good for 80 points, which is going to put you there in 5th place now, which means Anthony's going to be pushed down to 6th. So you have 2 people under you. You only need 4 people under you to make the playoffs. So we're not even halfway through the season at this point. I'd say you're sitting in a good position. But hey, at the very least, you now own bragging rights over your brother for beating him in the Trivia 10. The most electric start I've ever seen. How do you feel about your performance today?
I'm bummed. The Letterboxd one, that's a tough series, so I'm not upset about that. But the last one, because Her, I adore that movie. I've seen it like 8 times, man. I'm going to be upset about that all day.
I mean, it's one of those where it's hard to know what you would be like on the other side of trivia. But for me, I feel like if I got Scarlett Johansson first, I wouldn't be able to ever think it wasn't like her face in a movie.
Yeah. So I was just trying to think of her face the whole. Yeah, that's a good question. That was good.
Well, man. 80 points. Obviously, go check out Raiders Lost Podcast. It's been almost a year since we did our collab. I think we did it the week before or after Barbenheimer, which is almost a year ago at this point. We definitely got to make another, ReelTok Podcast, Raiders Lost Podcast collab happen here soon.
Absolutely, we have to. I was thinking the same thing. Let's do another crossover or something. Let's do it soon.
Yep, for sure. Well, we'll make that happen. Thank you so much for joining today. Had a blast with you. We're going to have new episodes every Tuesday and Friday. We'll see who ends up making the playoffs for season 2. But of course, go check out all the good stuff James is doing in the description down below. With that being said, we'll see you in the next one.
Peace. Thanks, Tyler. Thanks, ReelTok. Have a great day.